So I have already discussed in detail and very comprehensively the uses and functions and purpose of all the four forms of present tense, all the four forms of past tense, the link of which will be provided in the description box. Please do have a look in case of any uncertainties or confusions. So today let's begin with the uses and functions, how and why, where to use simple future tense. But before we move into that, we need to know the difference between will and shall, the auxiliary verbs used in future tense. So it's a slight confusion among people where to put to use the auxiliary verbs will and shall. There is an age-old traditional rule which says that shall should be used with first person pronouns. I shall do it, we shall do it. And that traditional rule also says that will should be used with all other pronouns except first person. That is, he will do it, she will do it, it will do it, they will do it, you will do it. Okay, so what is the traditional or age-old rule about will and shall? It says that first person pronouns will go for shall and all the other pronouns will go for will. But that's very old, and nowadays we don't even follow that rule. Nowadays grammarians say that we can use them interchangeably. Grammarians also say one more thing, and that is will is more commonly used. So most of us say that will and shall can be used interchangeably. Will is more commonly used. It won't affect the meaning at all, but still there are exceptions, mind it. Sometimes we can have a slight difference in meaning when we use will and shall. For example, look at the interrogative questions. Will I do it? Shall I do it? Okay, will I do it? Shall I do it? Now look at the first question, interrogative question. Will I do it means I am questioning my efficiency. Am I capable to do it? Am I skillful enough to do it? I am really concerned now whether I'll be able to do it or not. Now look at the second example. Shall I do it? Now when I come to the second example, here I am not at all doubting myself. And here this sentence or question implies that there are many people to do it. There are many options, but I feel myself as skillful and talented and proficient enough that I myself am asking the boss, shall I do it? Yes, I am willing. I am so interested and concerned that yes, shall I do it? So, in many such cases, we can see that will and shall, although they can be used interchangeably, sometimes they can also change the meaning. So, simple future tense or future indefinite tense is the least complicated and easiest of all the other tenses. You know why? Because you need not know about the past tense V2 or the past participle of the verb V3. You only need to know the base form or the root form of the verb. So that makes it easier compared to other tenses like present tense and past tense and all. So let's learn first the structure or the construction of sentence in simple future tense, and that is subject plus will or shall, okay, plus verb, which is the base form of the verb or the root form of the verb, and then comes the object. For example, I is the subject, then comes one of these will, then comes the verb, and then comes the object. He will eat the food. She will play tennis. All these are examples of simple future tense. As the name suggests, it's very simple. Now, what is the contracted form of a sentence in future tense? I apostrophe double L, do it. It's more common in speaking rather than in writing. I'll do it. We say I'll do it. So this is rule number 1, which says use simple future tense for an action or an event about to happen in the near future. In the near future. Okay, it is future, but in the near future. Future is divided into 2 types, near future and distant future. What is near future? Very close. Within a short span of time, it is soon going to approach. It will approach very soon. This near future is a future close at hand. Means time is the duration is very short. Whereas the opposite is distant future. It's a longer duration. It's a remote future. So where should you use simple future tense? For an action or event that is about to happen in the near future, you can use simple future tense. Now let's look at the examples. First is, he will go to the market in the evening. So it's morning now. There is a short duration between morning to evening. The verb here is will go. Okay, is it a longer duration? No. Time is going to approach very soon. And also it's in the future. So in such instances, we use simple future tense. Second example is, she will reach here soon. What is the verb? Will plus root form of the verb. Simple future tense, will reach. So this has not yet happened. The time is yet to come. She will indeed reach here soon is a possibility. It's a chance. Most probably it will happen. That's a plausibility. So in such cases, we use simple future tense. Look at the third example. The house they loved will cost them 1 crore. Okay, which is a verb here? Will cost. The house they loved will cost them 1 crore. They have not yet finalized it. They have just chalked out that plan or the design. They have not yet fixed on that house. But the house which they are going to consider in the future is going to cost them about 1 crore. But it will happen in the near future. So use simple future for such situation. Moving on to the next rule. Moving on to rule number 2. Use simple future tense for guess or prediction about the future. Okay. What do you mean by guess or prediction? Most probably it will happen. Okay. It can happen. It's highly possible, highly probable, high probability that it will happen in the future, in the coming future. Let's look at the examples. Example 1. The astrologer said, I'll win the exam. So the verb here is I will win. Will win is the verb in future tense. So what happened the other day? I had an exam that was forthcoming and I wanted to know about the future. So I just took my phone, I installed the AstroTalk app, and I asked the astrologer, "Sir, will I succeed in the exam? Will I conquest or will I fail?" And he replied, "Oh no, you will definitely win the exam." Okay, so it's going to happen in the future. It's not in the present, it's not in the past. The time is ahead. The time lies ahead. You will indeed triumph in the exam. The second example is, "This red dress will suit you more than the white dress." Okay. So the verb here is will suit, will or shall plus verb. So the other day I had to attend a birthday celebration and I asked the opinion of my sister which dress would grace me, which dress would be looking attractive for me. And she replied, "This red dress will suit you more than the white dress." So the action which is about to take place in the future, you can use simple future tense. Let's move on to the third example. The weather forecast said it will rain for the next 3 days. What's the verb here? Will rain. Will rain. Rain is the main verb. The weather forecast said that it will rain in the next forthcoming days. So it's a possibility. It's a high feasibility that it can rain, and most probably it will rain. It's a plausibility. So this is a forecast made by the weather department of the government. They have given a prediction which is going to happen in the future, in the near future. Maybe in the next 3 days or in the next week or at least by the next month itself. So it's an anticipation. We'll all be eagerly waiting for that rain. In such cases, use simple future tense. Moving on to the next rule. Rule number 3, use simple future tense for asking questions about the future. You can frame interrogative questions using will or shall for the future, and the construction is will or shall plus subject plus verb. Verb is the root form of the verb and then the rest part of the sentence. Let's have a look. Will I do it? So this is the verb. Will you do it? Will you complete the task? Will you let me do it? Shall we go for shopping? Shall go. Shall we go for a cinema tonight? Will you complete this work? Here, will and complete. So you can frame your predictions about the future as interrogative sentences also. Let's move on to the next rule. Next is rule number 4. Use simple future tense about future consequences, future possibilities, and future conditions. If you are laying forth any condition which is going to have a consequence and effect in the future, then you can use simple future tense. Moving on to the first example, James will continue the job only if he is promoted as the vice principal. So the verb here is will and main verb in simple future tense. So that's an obligation. He is giving no freedom of choice to the management. That's a prerequisite or a necessary requirement which needs to follow. What is that requirement? James will continue the job in the future only if he is given the upgradation or promotion as vice principal. Okay, so that's an obligation. Second is, if she doesn't study, she will fail. Will fail is the verb here. Now that she has got no option at all. She has no choice but to study, or else she is indeed going to fail. Look at the third example. You will attend the demo only if you sign up. Will attend is the verb. You will attend the demo only if you sign up for the class. You need to complete the registration. You need to pay in advance. Then only we will permit you to attend the demo class. So laying down a condition in the future, which is a prerequisite, a necessary obligation, which has a consequence for the future, possibility for the future, you can use simple future tense. Moving on to the next rule. Rule number 5, use simple future tense for orders or commands to be done or completed in the future. Okay, these examples would be having a tone of threatening and a little bit alarming tone. Like, look at the first example. You will complete the work by tomorrow. So you don't have any freedom of choice. You will have to do it. Second example, you will submit the hall ticket. You don't have any option. You won't get any entry unless you will submit your hall ticket. So the verb here is in simple future tense. So if you are an authoritative person in control of the place, you have much influence and sway over the entire place, you are somebody in important designation and authority, then you can give your command and order to your employees or subordinates to finish off their task. And sometimes the tone would be a little bullying, a little threatening, a little intimidating, because you want your sub or employees to finish off their work faster. So in that case, it would be a little bit of threatening or alarming tone, like you will have to do this, you will complete your work by evening, you will submit your hall ticket, or you won't be let into the exam hall. I hope it's clear. Let's move on to the next rule. This is rule number 6. Use simple future tense for scheduled or planned events. What are scheduled and planned events? Those that have been already organized. Every arrangements have already been set up. Okay. It can be an expectation, guess or prediction. We have already discussed guess or prediction in detail. Now, Amis are going to construction is equal to will construction, which I have previously mentioned in some examples. I am going to the theater, which means I will go to the theater. They are going to the palace, means they will go to the palace. She is coming here tomorrow. She will come here tomorrow. So this construction is equal to the will construction. Okay, back to the examples. If any event or action has already been planned and all the arrangements have been well set up, everything is established and fixed to happen in the future, then in such cases use simple future tense. Let's look at the examples. The parcel will arrive on Tuesday. So this is the verb in simple future tense. So I have no doubt about it that my package, my parcel is indeed going to arrive by Tuesday. It will arrive on Tuesday. It's already planned. It's already scheduled. Second is Maya will sing a song in the birthday party. So will sing is in simple future tense because Maya has already been informed. So Maya will indeed sing the song in the celebration. There is not going to be any change in the decision. It's Maya who is going to sing the song. Maya will sing the song. Third example is they will declare results tomorrow. Will declare, simple future tense. So it's already planned, it's scheduled. The management, the institution has already fixed it. They have lined up all the students, they have informed all the students, and in such cases we use simple future tense. Look at the fourth one. I will get more details on the case by next month. Okay, next month is slightly a remote duration, a distant future, but still it is planned, it's scheduled. I have all my superior bosses, the officers have informed me that they will give me the happenings and whereabouts of the case by next month. So something that is already established or fixed or scheduled, you can use simple future tense. Let's move on to the next rule. Rule number 7. Use simple future tense for firm plans or firm decisions. For instance, you as an individual, you have decided something very strongly. You are resolute. You are determined that you will do that. Then in such cases, you can use simple future tense. Let's look at the example. Example 1. By tomorrow, I'll be in Singapore. I will reach Singapore tomorrow itself. There's no doubt about it. This rule is similar to the previous rule. That is, the plans or decisions have already been scheduled, established and fixed. There is no change at all. I have no doubt or uncertainty in it. So as an individual, if you have decided, if you are determined enough that this action or event will indeed take place, then we use simple future tense. Okay. Second is, I will submit my article tomorrow itself. These are in simple future tense. Will reach, will be, will submit. Okay, I will submit it tomorrow itself means no one can influence me. I am determined. I cannot be diluted. I cannot be watered down. I show no leniency at all. It's fixed and this is going to happen in the near future. We use simple future tense. Rule number 8 is use simple future tense if your expectation or opinion, your viewpoint, your hope, or even your confusion, your uncertainty, or your assumption, guess, prediction, everything is in the future. In such situations, use simple future tense. Let's have a look at the examples. Example 1. Hey, don't worry. You will do it. You'll indeed do it. Will do is in simple future tense. Don't worry, you will do it. Your friend is going to associate with the tournament. He's a participant in the tournament. You are wishing the best for him. And you remark, hey, don't worry, you will do it. It means you will come back with the cup or the trophy. Second is, I hope that he will do his best. Will do is in simple future tense. So that is also an anticipation. You are wishing the best for someone. I hope, I guess. Usually we use will or shall with constructions like I hope, I guess. Okay, I hope he'll do his best. It means he will grace the occasion with his trophy. I hope that he'll do his best. I hope that he'll come back from the match holding the cup or the trophy. and he is going to grace the occasion. He'll make this occasion very special and memorable with the cup or the trophy, something which is going to happen in the future. Third example is he will probably reach in the afternoon. Will reach, this is the adverb. Will reach is in simple future tense. So he will probably reach in the afternoon. Most probably it will happen. It is very likely to be true. It is very likely to happen. I mean, I don't have any option to think otherwise. I don't have any reason to think the opposite of this. He informed me that he will reach in the afternoon. So if it is an expectation, your opinion, or your viewpoint, your hope, your uncertainty, your assumption, your guess, your prediction in the future, then you can use simple future tense. Okay. Rule number 9 is use simple future tense for promises and offers. If you want to promise something to someone, you have to use simple future tense. I don't think there is any other freedom of choice or any other option other than using simple future tense. If you need to offer something, you can use simple future tense. Let's have a glance at the examples. Look at the first example. You will sleep in peace. This is in simple future tense. You will sleep in peace. Okay, actually this is a caption or an announcement of a promotion or an advertisement of an AC in the Chroma showroom. You will sleep in peace. You will rest in peace on your sofa. If you buy this product, then it's an assurance from a side that you will really enjoy. It's like you will be in Kashmir. It's like it would be a paradise for you. So if you want to promise something, whether it is fake or truth, you can do that in simple future tense. Next is the let me construction is equal to will. Okay, previously we had seen Amis are going to construction is equal to will construction. Now here let me construction is equal to will. I will help you with this. So if you had to say let me help you with this, let me deal with this, it means I'll help you with this, I'll deal with this. So will help is in simple future tense. Okay, the third is an offer. Will you marry me? Will and this is a verb. Will you marry me? So that's an opportunity, that's an offer. In case you have to make any offers or promises, then simple future tense would be the best choice. Rule number 10 says use simple future tense for repetitive actions in the future. Okay, if an action or event is going to happen several times in the future, then you can use simple future tense. Example, I promise I'll visit you. Okay, I promise I will visit you. So it means that the person has already visited his friend some time back, and he is giving an assurance that yes, I'm going to visit you. Don't worry, I'll visit you in the near future or in the distant future. Second example, she will take English classes thrice a week. Okay, will take is in simple future tense. So this is also a repetitive action. Whether it is boring or whether it is interesting, that's your choice. But she'll take English classes thrice a week. To join or not is up to you. Okay. So for actions that keeps on repeating in the future, use simple future tense. Let's move on to the next rule. Now, rule number 11 says you have to use will in first conditionals. What are conditional sentences? the sentences that begin with if, where there is a prerequisite, there is a condition. All such sentences beginning with if are conditional sentences. So I thought I could give you a brief and concise idea about the types of conditional sentences. But our rule says you have to use will in first conditional sentences. So let's see what are the four different types of conditional sentences. First is a zero conditional statement. In such statements, we do not use will because they are factual. They are all about fact and truth. So we don't use will in that. We use simple present tense. Look at the sentence. If you eat red chili, it burns. So the second part of the sentence, we use simple present tense. If you heat ice, it melts. If you freeze ice, it turns into ice. So the second part of the sentence will be in simple present tense. Now let's see the first conditional sentences, which according to our rule we need to add will in the second half of the sentence. First conditional is a real and possible situation in the future. It is indeed going to happen. If you study, you will pass. If you study, you will pass the exam. If it's a weekend, I'll enjoy. Okay, so such examples of first conditionals, real and possible situation in the future, you have to use will. Let's look at the second conditional sentence. Second conditional sentences are unreal situations. Unreal means that's not going to happen. It's impossible. If I were a PM, I would bring a change. If I were a doctor, it would have been great. If I were a dove, I could have wings. I would have wings. So unreal and impossible situations belong to second conditional. We do not use will. Next, last is third conditional. Third conditional is unreal situations in the past. If I had studied well, I would have passed, which means the person has not able to clear his exam. So out of all these four types of conditional sentences, we use will only in the first conditional. So that's it all for today. Stay tuned, stay updated, like, share and subscribe. Follow for more videos on grammar, synonyms, vocabulary, idioms and advanced phrases.